Welcome everyone. I have two quick little meditations I want you to do. I mean, they're really quick, and I think you're going to find these great to do because they're really easy. Let's first take our deep breaths to make sure we're grounded. You can intend your grounding just by saying, I am of God and I'm grounded to the earth, or however you ground yourself is fine as well. Let's go ahead and take 3 deep breaths. Another deep breath. I'm seeing a flame burning straight up in the air. Another deep breath. Now that flame has wrapped itself around the world and has engulfed the earth in that rainbow light. And so it is. Okay, before I start too, I want to use my pineal gland real quickly. Okay, the first meditation is really quick and easy. So once you're grounded, all I want you to do is close your eyes and take a deep breath. And I just want, and you may have done something like this before, but there were very specific instructions here from my guidance. There's 2 of them, okay? On the first one, you're just going to close your eyes and focus on your solar plexus. So just above your navel, between your navel and your heart. And I want you to imagine the golden chalice, the Holy Grail, in your solar plexus. And just put it there and let it sit there. Just really feel that golden chalice in your solar plexus. And then I want you to just allow yourself to go straight up to the Christed Gate, the Golden Gateway. Connects directly to Jesus. And just sit and feel what comes. You might imagine it like a magnetic tube slide going straight from your solar plexus up to the Golden Gate where Jesus is waiting for you, and what happens after that. Okay? And you can try this again later if you don't have enough time to really feel into it and get your messages. And if you did get something just now, make sure to write it down or comment in the comments. I'd love to hear your comments on what you're getting. All right, the second one is very similar, but it's more detailed. So the second time, I want you again to close your eyes. Imagine that Holy Grail in your solar plexus. And now you're going to put the emerald into that cup. See an actual emerald dropping into the cup and realizing that the emerald is your heart sitting in the cup. And as you feel your solar plexus and your heart connecting, take the stem of the chalice and pull it down to your root so that the base of the chalice is sitting in your root. And just sit with that in the root and feel what comes up for you. Okay, so I'm gonna go on because I do have a lot of stuff to bring up for you guys. If you didn't have enough time for anything to come up for you, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Just do it again later when you have time, but I would love to hear your comments down below as to what did come up for you, and I'm going to tell you what came up for me when I did it this morning. So I have my Metatron read for you where all of this came up. A lot of chakra stuff came up. And I have a message of the day as well as a union and twin flame read, the twin flame read in front of you. Again, these are general messages and reads, so if something doesn't resonate with you, then that's okay, let it go. If you want something more specific, if you want to read or something like that, my information's below. There's also a donation button below if you'd like to donate. And my website is twinflames3344.com if you want to check it out. I have a CD out there also called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames by Evelyn Stainthorpe. If you want to check that out, it's only $1 for a song. So let's get into the read now. So Metatron. Wow, it was pretty profound for me today with those little meditations. I'll tell you what came up for me. The colors that came up with Metatron today were red, gold very significantly, and then green, blue, and silver. So the blue is more of the throat chakra blue as opposed to the indigo. So, and Archangel Michael was coming up a lot with the blue silver or the blue platinum shield, which is what I was always getting guided to put up for Archangel Michael. And then again, the connection from the gold solar plexus as a Christ, it's like a direct connect, like a tram at the airport or like the vacuum tubing. Those were the images they were showing me as a direct connect of the Rainbow Bridge, and we're talking about Metatron here and his Rainbow Bridge here. And so I started this message from Metatron at 10:37 to 38, which is the King and Queen of Cups, unconditional love there. And it was very cool how they were relating all of this to other things. So the first underlying energy that came up from the read was the tree of life with clarity, which has to do with doing shadow work, and then the Mother Earth, which is about connecting and grounding to the earth. The first card out for this read was the Kundalini, so all about the chakra layers and the different colors of the rainbow. And the Kundalini card in this deck is 35, which is the Wounded Warrior. And of course, the Wounded Warrior sits in the root, because the Wounded Warrior, as I've been getting over and over again, is how we start out as a human. It's not who we've become as warriors, as humans. We started out as the Wounded Warrior from our plant and stone and element lives. Literally in child's pose, skinned human, after like being skinned as a lamb or another animal, coming into this life skinned in child's pose as a man, a wounded warrior, just having been skinned. So you started out with that. So we're starting out with that at the root chakra, which is all of our insecurity issues about safety and security. So those are most at the root for us, those deep underlying energies of fear, of I won't survive. So it's very important to focus on the root today. After the Kundalini was the dimensional gateway, which is the golden gate, connecting with the Christ golden white light. And as we go into the messages, this is what came up for this read. And this was at 10:43. The 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. 43 is the energy today. Today is the 27th, which is the Ace of Wands, the third flame. But it also adds up to today to 43, 7. 7 was very significant today. And the 4 and the 3, which I talked about yesterday. There's always a rebalancing, right? Because 3 and 4 are 3 to 4. Talking about yesterday, where it's never always 3.5. There's always a variation because movement is constant. So we're never equal. It's always the dance between the masculine and the feminine. The 3 and the 4 is the Empress and the Emperor. But it's also the 4 and the 3 of the sweet spot of the 7 of wanting to be above the middle in numbers, which is 5, right? From 1 to 9. The middle number would be 5. So 6 and 7 are considered the sweet spot. And actually 67 is the Knight of Pentacles, which is the loyal, humble servant. So with the first energy coming out here, and the underlying energy was, again, the orange and yellow wings. And the orange can really just be that more golden gold, right? Because gold, when it's 24 karat, is more orangey. It's not just yellow. So it's really coming up as this golden energy of the golden and orange wings from the sacral chakra to the Christ consciousness and the sun, because it's obviously the colors of the sun, and it was coming up as referencing in this card as well, Big Bird again. So both cards were referencing Big Bird as the human with big wings, but silly and childlike, right? And ABCs were coming up around that too, which will come up in a minute. So orange and yellow, red light, green light. And I was just triggered at that point to, again, do the little wings stretch with your hands on the top of your shoulders, rotating your elbows. And I did my neck stretch as well. The journey of the lower chakra system through the shadow work with clarity, using Mother Earth for support, the ice cube of water as opposed to the diamond light of air. The cube from the Metatron deck is defined as the combination of the root or the base and the earth star chakras. And again, just summarizing, building something concrete and working with the earth energy to do that. Cleaning up litter perhaps, or doing meditation and walks, bringing something into reality or manifesting, you must plant the seed first. So that was some of the stuff coming up from the definition in the book. I don't usually use the book because I use my downloads. But if a card isn't resonating with me for some reason, or there's something in the card I don't get, I'll look up the definition to see. So that came up for you guys today. So burning through the wounded warrior of the root chakra to the GG, which is the Golden Gate, 1212, which I call Centaur Gate, as 44 is Ram's Gate, 88 is Lion's Gate, 1212 is Centaur Gate, or you can call it the Archer's Gate as well, with the 33 of the Christ vibration here, and there are a lot of double digits and letters coming up here, with GG, WW, 1212, 33, and 1212 is 33. And I woke up this morning at 8:22, but my clock is broken, and it was on 11:33. So I had lots of double digits today. Using the Kundalini to connect to the Christ light. Use your Holy Grail cup to exude love light of the golden light for sudden events and epiphanies. With the infinity symbol to infinitum, take the chakra system upward by focusing on the waist. And then waist was coming up as well with that. You know, what is a waste? What do you no longer need? What doesn't serve you anymore? And that can be going to the bathroom too. Elimination. Focusing at the waist, connecting to the gold that's shooting up to the Christ gateway. There must be a chalice offered, the Holy Grail, in order to receive the Holy Communion. So you can't get the Holy Communion or communication or replenishment unless you plant the seed or put the cup out for that communication or communion. The wounded warrior and the collective consciousness, or the Mary Magdalene. And the wounded warrior often comes up as the Mary Magdalene. The WW is the reflection of the MM, the Mary Magdalene, and the wounded warrior of the masculine. And the collective consciousness here. And sudden replenishment and epiphanies. And so this first Christ meditation I told you to do, where you meditate at the waist, the solar plexus golden cup, and then up to the Christ gate, Where for me, Christ came right down as soon as I went up there, which doesn't come that easily to me. My visual isn't my strongest ability, so it's not always that easy for me to get that energy, but Christ came right down. So Jesus came in like a slide, like a tube slide, jumped right down to my solar plexus, and he started hammering away all around the area to heal it. And like the carpenter he is, started hammering and chiseling all around. And then when he was done, he gave me a thumbs up. And then I asked him to blow me a kiss. So he did, but then he went a step further and he came up to me and he kissed my forehead, but then he took my face and he kissed me on the lips and said he'll be back again, and then he darted off while he waved goodbye. So the diamond light mirror came up here of judgment, wake-up calls, and decisions. So the wake-up calls can be separate from that too. Maybe you just have calls you need to make. So the diamond light mirroring of judgment. Remember, the diamond light's very 5D, of judgment, which is making decisions, announcements, wake-up calls, or just phone calls, and decisions as fall goes into winter, letting go of control and heart healing instead of trying to control things, just allowing your heart to heal with the Knight of Cups and being love. The Emperor is here with the inner child and really letting go of control in order to heal their heart. The emerald at 1116, which is justice and the 16 of the tower. The emerald and periwinkle light as a feather, winter colors, hibernating to heal the heart in the winter. And winter was coming up as Win and Ter. And Ter can be short for Terra as well, which can be earth. But it was coming up as Win that could be devastating, or win thrice, 3 times, or win is a possession, a time to dry off, a river or a bull, or perhaps a bull market. To use in win, in giving birth to. Put the emerald in the cup and see what happens. Balance is needed as yin and yang. A lot of heart requires cold now. So a lot of heat now requires cold, or what was warmth now requires coolness. The King of Wands and the Hermit here, or for the Hermit, there's a need here to take to move the body, be active with your body to release all the stuck energy after being still. So again, they're showing the reflection of everything. If you had a really hot summer, it's time now to be cold. If you had a really warm summer, it's now time to be cool. The King of Wands is being reflective of the opposite of the Hermit. And then taking movement to make sure your body's active after having been still. So again, always going to the opposite if you're polarized in order to bring it to the middle. The truth of Excalibur in the red root shaman and the peace pipe, which you know all week for Thanksgiving, the Native American has been coming up because Thanksgiving was about the white man sitting down with the natives, and how what I was getting from the card today is how we extend the hand in a handshake, extending energy from the hand in the handshake. And when you're shaking someone's hand, what is your actual intention? And what do you feel? And is it actually your truth? So are you actually extending your hand in your own authenticity? And then what comes up for you there? And think about, imagine yourself shaking hands with the shaman at Thanksgiving. And what are your intentions in that shake? And what are you feeling back from them at the same time? We so often and carelessly put our hand out to touch another, or put our energy inside someone else's energy without realizing whether that energy actually resonates with us or not. And it's 1:44 on the clock. How perfect is that? So Gigi, little Gigi and big Gigi, I looked them up to see what came up. And Gigi comes up as good game, game over, good going. But also Guernsey and Gigagauss, the unit of magnetic field strength in the EGS system. Also Governor General, genetic girl, generative grammar, game gate, doomed, Google, because Gigi's an abbreviation for Google, and then also a German type of dry wine that's top scale also came up here. So who are you, authentically inner child, and do you see a duality in you, a conflict of truth and action between you and your inner child? Codependencies are locked at the root, and the Earth Star here today. What is the entry wound here? The key to freedom is consciousness of the subconscious. In order to release and the initial wound here and have the whole timeline collapse. The original, so you know about the entry wound, but it's paralleling now the entry wound to the Native American, the Aborigines. The original, the nature, the Aborigine, where the entry point collapses in its entirety for you and your lineage forward and back. The Knight of Swords is saying to speak your truth because it's allowing you to feel into the root when triggered. Then it comes up as a whole new day after that, coming back to the beginning again in your high vibration and sunshine. So it's like after you're doing the shadow work, all of a sudden it's a new day and you're back in your high vibration again. So it's reminding you that we need to bring up the subconscious in order to release it, right? So once your subconscious becomes in your consciousness and you're aware of what that was, it's very easy to release it. The problem is when you don't know what's in your subconscious, how to bring it up, which is why people trigger you to show you what's in your subconscious, and why we meditate to see what's in there that wants to be released so that you can become conscious of it. And often when it's something from when you were being a child, as soon as you see the wounding, you're able to release it because you're an adult now, seeing it from a totally different perspective, and you're saying, oh, I understand. And it's so easy to let it go. So just a reminder, when you hit the entry wound, it collapses the entire timeline, forward and back. So for your ancestors and for your children going forward. So it not only releases the wound for you, but also for your whole family. The original nature Aborigine point collapses in entirety for you and your lineage forward and back. So it's coming up as connect to your ancestral roots, which is the Native American, the Aborigines from all over the planet. Whoever was the native to your area, and it may be somewhere else than from where you live right now, but connect to whatever natives you were connected with, that you may have shook hands with at one time or another before contracts were written and all that kind of time, a long time ago. And feel into that handshake as to, are you resonating with what your intention was at that time? So that is a good meditation to go into about the Aborigines and the Native Americans. So then go back into your high vibration right after doing that. A whole new day. Welcome back to the high vibe and the sunshine. A path with no boundaries now, where the valley of the shadow of darkness is no longer because it's now in the light. Enter the void and then pause, walk away and within, with the Queen of Swords prioritizing her wings to hips and direct connect at the waist. And then Big Bird was coming up here from Sesame Street. Big Bird and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, which is 7 chakras, but it's coming up as the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and Big Bird and Sesame Street. But it went A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then H, I, J, K, L is 12 for love, and 13 is M for Imana, and the MM of Mary Magdalene and Michael and Metatron tribe. And then the LM comes up also. I looked up the definition, and it's lumen, the SI unit of luminous flux, which is what holds it together. And lumen literally is showing the light in the dark. It's lu and men, but it's also lum and en, which for me is code Jesus. And lum means a light source. So it's lumen and light source of Jesus in one word. So Sesame Street, I was also being guided to break it down, which is C, same path for Sesame Street. C, same path. Street is path. C, say me path. C, Sam on E Street, perhaps. And C's a me path. So again, when you're little, it's all about you, right? You're supposed to be about you, as it is now too. But by being all about you, you become one with the all because you go within and connect to the collective, which you can't possibly do on the outside of you because you can only deal with so many people at a time. So if the wings come out from behind your heart, what is the support mechanism of the solar plexus, of course, right? So if the wings come out from behind your heart, what is the support mechanism of your heart? It's the solar plexus, of course, in order to fly. So it's showing you with the cup that the solar plexus is the cup. It's like the atlas and the axis of your that hold up your head. The cup is the solar plexus holding your heart, and then the stem of the chalice is the axis going down to your root in order to allow you to fly, and Spirit's connecting with me. Metatron Rainbow Bridge is the wind, and literally in this card it's coming up as the rainbow bridge is the wind beneath your wings, the solar plexus. And why is it called solar plexus? Because it's your sun connection. There's definitely a connection, direct connect between the heart and the solar plexus there as well. And you, remember, you're corded to your twin, which not everyone is in this lifetime. So again, the Metatron Rainbow Bridge is the wind beneath your wings for walking away, and the Queen of Swords to be inspired by the third flame. So then they were connecting me. They were giving me another ABCs about the chakra system and what was coming in today. And depending on whether you're looking at it as a 7 chakra system or the 12 to 13 chakra system, and don't forget, pink comes in as the compassion, which is the ultimate love. They wanted to remind you how the chakras are connected. So the root was coming up, and this, you may have heard something different or read something different. I'm just telling you what I got downloaded today. So this was the message today. And you can receive it or you don't have to receive it, whatever you're resonating with. So they were reminding me that the root is connected to the mouth because that's the 3D port, the keys, right? I was talking about the vagina being the womb portal and the mouth being the masculine portal, right? He needs to speak his truth in order for the physical union to happen, which is then the canal to the womb. The sacral chakra is directly connected to the third eye, which is considered the 5D connection as opposed to the root to mouth, which is very 3D, right? So the sacral to the third eye is directly talking about the womb to the third eye, which is the coffin of which is what Sam the Illusionist was talking about, that the third eye is the coffin of the soul, right? It keeps it veiled in your body, so you can't access it until you purposely, willfully activate it through your chakra system, because you can't open it until you've gone through the rest of your chakra system. So the sacral to the third eye is the 5D portals, the sacral womb, and the third eye portal, right, to your full soul. And then the solar plexus to the crown, which is coming up as a direct connect straight to the Golden Gate. So it's not just to the crown, but that's like the throughway from the solar plexus to the crown to the Golden Gateway throughway from the solar plexus to the central sun, in a way so that you can understand it better as a human, is a bypassing of the heart in direct connect to your Christ consciousness. Because remember, as a twin, you're corded as well from your solar plexus and heart directly to your twin and to Akashic records, so that you can clear your Akashics, especially if you have a lot of density and pain in your heart that you're having trouble clearing. It's a way of bypassing around your heart so you can still directly get to where you need to go, okay, in that Christ connection. It's very interesting the way it was coming up today. So again, paralleling the root with the handshake of the shaman at Thanksgiving, the Aborigines and the natives, regarding truth. And again, this is very masculine energy, right? With the masculine shaman and the handshake, and the truth that the masculine is about the thought, about the brain of the human. And instead of this time shaking hands with the shaman in your truth as a 3D human, go to your 5D human and instead ask, what do you feel when you shake hands with that person? Going to the sacral chakra, you're letting go. We're not focusing on the sacral here today. They were saying to just let go of control in the sacral chakra, and that's that fall to winter energy of just totally letting go. In the yellow gold of the solar plexus, the direct connect to the Christ consciousness, the golden gate, like the vacuum tube system, or like I said, the tram at the airport, it's the same kind of energy. And they're paralleling it in different ways so that you can remember it and understand it and then incorporate it into your own understandings or beliefs. So again, the root is the vaginal portal to the mouth, which is the throat portal of the masculine. And notice there's 6 chakras away from each other, which is about love. Those are the 3D keys. The sacral womb to the third eye, pineal coffin of the soul, is also 6 apart in the 5D keys, which are then open, right? Because they're not open for everyone. And then the solar plexus, which is coming up, is the atlas and the axis at 1221. The atlas is the Holy Grail at the solar plexus, holding up the heart, which goes into the cup, with the stem extending down into the root for support at the root of the entry wound. And this, remember, the solar plexus is solar. It's the central sun connection to the crown, and then directly to the sun in your cosmic connect to the 13th realm, right? Which then goes to source, which we're going to get into the 14th as well. The heart is coming up, which is your limited soul, right? Because it's your heart in your human body that functions your body, but it's a limited soul, right? Because you're not connected fully because your third eye is veiled. But it originally connects to your soul star chakra, which is your Akashic record, so that you can access it if you open up to it, right? And then do your Akashic reviews at the 12th chakra. And then the high heart is coming up as the full soul identified, connecting to the cosmic galactic portal 13, which is also the energy of the universe and, direct connect to source. So remember that you're in the regular heart, as a twin, you're corded to your twin. So it may be a little bit different than usual because of the cording to your twin, which is the direct connect to your twin, but also to Akashic records, so you will do the review. It's very interesting the way it came up, so that you can bypass your heart if you need to in order to do that review and connect with the Christ light so that you can do your shadow work as well. So then the energy regarding the number of portals was coming up here, and 13. Usually people go up to the 13th portal or the galactic portal. But I was getting the 14 because I know 14 is very significant. So I'm like, is the diamond what people consider the black or void or the diamond light the 14? And in source energy. So what was coming up for me was to go into the number sequence of 14, which stems from the number 7, which of course is not of this world, 7. So the 14 was very significant here, which if you go 7, I just did 14s, I didn't really do 7s, but 14, 28, 42, 56, 70, 84, 98, and so on. So all the 14s up and 28s up. So what I found was it comes out, the cycle ends on 700, like the 700 Club, and it's all about the 7, which isn't of this world, right? The 7 is once you cross over, it's something we're not, it's not for human understanding. It's of another world, the 7. So it extends to the 700 Club, and guess what number came up in the sequence? Well, one of them was 154, which came up yesterday, which happens to be, if you go by 7s, the 22nd number, and if you go by 14s, it happens to be the 11th number. So 154 is very significant here. And I did all the way to 700, and then it goes to 714, 728, and 742, which are the 49th, 50th, 51st, and 52nd numbers in the sequence. So very cool energies. So the 700 Club is everything that's in the divisibles of 7. And of course 14 is 7 times 2. And 14 is also the temperance card of the angels and a higher love. Taking one step at a time off the beaten path, right? Because it's not of this world. It's like the Pisces energy stepping out into the other world. So at 1239, which is the Hanging Man, and 39 of the Knight of Cups, I went back to the read to go to the next card. And the number, and guess what came up as the next card? It was air, which is number 13, confirming, yes, that 13 is the diamond light, which is the same as the golden white light of Christ, where you can fly free, right? It's a free airspace, right? A free airspace zone where you can go wherever you want. And that comes up from 5D too. Like 5D is a jumping off place. It's not like you're ending at 5D. It's like once you are able to get to 5D with no veil, it's a jump off point where you can go anywhere from the 5D if you want to. So the air card was coming up as 13 in the diamond light, the golden white light, and flying free with free airspace there, reflecting then the next card, which was 31, which is transformation of light and dark. And then the next two cards, which were 21 and 22, were the blue of the mothering of Madonna in that very dark, even deeper than indigo, almost black. And then the next card was literally the black card of the sword being pulled from the stone, or the warrior. So we're going with the mother, right, the Mary Magdalene, and the sword, which is the warrior of the masculine, being the black energy, and the presence of antimatter and silver of Archangel Michael's shield, the black and blue, the blue, silver, platinum, and the warrior of light in union here, which was number 30, pulling the sword from the stone, as Metatron is the magnetic blue mother, and the electric black Michael warrior as the father. The black and blue, or blue and black, the mother's love, and the warrior's truth, together wisdom, that nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me. This is coming from Source. This is so funny. So I'm going to read that to you again. And it's very interesting because I've always gotten Metatron as guiding the masculines, Michael's guiding the feminines. But Michael is magnetic and it's all about awakening the feminine, whereas Michael is electric. And electric, though, in a human sense, is the feminine because the electrons are considered feminine energy. But remember, when we're talking about above and below, we reflect. It doesn't mean it's the same above and below. It's reflected above and below. And just like I get the triangle as the opposite, as God being the child with the mother and father, being the reverse of us as humans, the same thing is coming up for me like with Michael and Metatron, that the magnetic is the feminine up there, is the feminine, whereas the magnetic down here is coming up as the masculine in the actual human. When electrons are considered feminines, the masculine would be the magnetic. So I'm getting the opposite of that in the etheric realms, where Metatron magnetic is the feminine and Michael is the masculine electric. And that can go both ways down here, I suppose, as well. Just like, you can be a female person but feel like a male. It's the same energy. It can be interchangeable. But again, when we get up to those highest realms where it's really dark, it was coming up as black and blue, as the Metatron mother's love in that really deep blue, going to the black of the warrior with the sword in hand, which together, right, with the mother's love and the warrior's truth, together becomes the wisdom of compassion, that very much higher God love. And then Source was literally saying to you guys, nothing really matters. You see, nothing really matters to me. So that was perfect, right? Because nothing really matters. So nothing really sources with them, right? They don't have matter in antimatter. But it's also read as nothing, or the feminine, really matters to me. So it was really cool the way that came up, and Spirit's connecting with me. So at 12:55 is the Hanging Man and the Ace of Swords. The underlying energy of the sacral to the soul star, 13, the ABCs and the XYZs of stop and go, of toggling up and grounding below. The first column here was all about the direct connect to the diamond light requires balancing of duality and authenticity of the inner child. The wounded warrior reflecting the Mary Magdalene, the judgment of the King of Wands, and the loving inner children being key here. And the second column was all about the Golden Gate and the 13, from fall to winter, 12:12, letting go of control. during this time, it's really important to focus on that through 12/12, which is also dating the second coming of Christ, right? From the 12/12 through to Christmas, that time. So move your body and speak your truth to bring up what's been buried. Sometimes, and this is also very important, speaking brings up triggers that we don't access from internal thoughts. So from doing all of these reads that I do and speaking, there's so much more that I get because I was speaking things out loud. I can't get a lot of this stuff from my own thoughts. So doing the reads for you out loud brings up a lot of the messages that come through. So realize that you can't get everything from just your internal thoughts. And sometimes you should speak your internal thoughts out loud to see what else comes through for you, because a lot of our wounds come from speaking. The third section here is to put the emerald in the gold chalice, the gold cup in the solar plexus with the heart inside of it, right? The cup is the atlas, with the axis being the stem that goes down to the root. The heart, put the emerald in the cup, and then pull the base down to the root for the truth with love and epiphanies, okay? So here again is the pattern of bringing together love of the feminine, the truth of the masculine, and bringing it together for that ultimate epiphany of compassion, which is source love. So this is where I did the other meditation. So I put my cup at the solar plexus, and I put the emerald in the cup, which then became my heart, and I extended the stem to my root. And what I saw for this one was the eagle take off suddenly in a swan dive, tumbling down and free falling, but trusting as I, or the counterpart, was running down the mountain to get to the bottom before they did in order to catch them, which I did. And at the bottom we hugged as I caught the eagle in my arms. And then I just got the solid green eye of the heart being healed, and then the new dawn. So it's very cool. And you know I'm very connected with the eagle. I've had multiple meditations about the eagle, but it doesn't come up all the time, that's for sure. So now let's go to the message of the day that I did last night. This was at 12:04 a.m. And the underlying energy, by the way, the 43 is the Three of Cups, if I didn't say that already, because today is the 27th of the Ace of Wands. It is new passion, new growth, new creativity, new projects inspired, and coming together in joy with others, socializing perhaps, or just coming together with one special person. But they're referencing the Three of Cups to the Holy Grail that you placed inside your solar plexus today in your heart. It's like the flame, right? So you have your cup in your heart. The masculine has the cup in their heart, and then there's another cup that holds the third flame. Okay. So the underlying energy for this read was the beaver, the Page of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the false person. The beaver is coming up as a romantic pup, waiting for someone to take the lead, tempted by the Holy Grail, which I wrote this before I did this read from this morning about the Holy Grail, but tempted by the Holy Grail of the tango between a man and a woman and the masks we wear. The crow is standing guard of the collective as the scorpion says, "Talk to the butt." And they're doing that to the crow while simultaneously giving the beaver a jump or a shock, or perhaps skunking them. A sunny home with the polar bear, stable and cold, shadow, pushing the atlas burdens on the power lady who's present, or a gift to romantic pup, or gifted a pup, someone might have gotten a doggy, or pushed out but doesn't really want to leave. Walking away, healing and drained in a twist of fate, the King of Cups may be pleased with themselves, and the Knight of Wands reversed may be tempted by the Holy Grail. The main female with empty family room, or a family room that's complete, and the man with concerns about this, perhaps on the journey of despair or of the pair, in changes of the hermit, or in hermiting with a false person, and perhaps being worried about that. The first section here was the peacock, the phoenix, and the otter. And the phoenix can have very similar energy to the eagle's dive, right? Diving together with the peacock and the otter. And 1221 came up during this first section here. The peacock and the otter looking in opposite directions as the phoenix rises between them. The peacock is inspired to crack the codes and awaken a loving, mature woman. The phoenix is the root, making the lover's breakthrough in withholding or saving for conflicts and bad health care, or for the mature woman to take care of the main male. And that's what happened in my meditation, where the feminine caught the masculine, who allowed himself to fall into her hands. He trusted, he had faith, and allowed his fall into her arms. The otter is curious about the key to unity consciousness, as the emperor main male, or with both of them, found a way out, rising above to save for a new life with the emperor, and the mature woman taking care of the main male, or sharing love and magic in healthcare perhaps. The second section here is the exhausted whale, nesting the dream as things are looking up with lovers and romantic little girl and or romantic pup. So that could be the inner children. The third, and the whale, the old whale can represent source as well, right? Being exhausted of all you guys doing what you're doing, right? The parent being exhausted with the children. The third section is the shark digging into the sacral chakra with the fox. The shark is coming up as the power man, or angry about a falling out and having to choose, as the King of Wands at court or in filing papers or legal papers at 12:30, which is the hanging man and the union. The one-eyed snake of the loving man sharing with the Queen of Cups and her hard work. The fox exposing the powers with the Knight of Swords rushing in to Atlas ship of distant horizons with nothing to float their boat there, in a falling out negative past, or now sharing with the Knight of Swords as the loving man. And that can be the knight in shining armor coming in. And then it was 1, 2, 3, 4, shut the door. 12:34, it's shutting the door in the past. The 12 of the hanging man, the 34 of the energetic exchange, or can be a sexual exchange between the masculine and the feminine. The King of Wands filing papers for the Queen of Cups for their ship to come in. So at 1, 2, 3, 4 is the fourth section of the buffalo, butterfly, camel, and the octopus. Watching the buffalo, they're all watching the other section, as the buffalo loving lady is happy with themselves. And remember, the King of Cups was happy with himself too, with justice of sudden wealth. And wealth doesn't have to refer to money, it can be any kind of wealth. The butterfly is still new to this, with justice of the rod and staff and cracking the whip at work with their shadow lover. The camel is independent, but perhaps a little blue, grounding, integrating details and making things bigger than they are, with the tower, sudden events and or epiphanies or sexual exchange of the emperor in courtship. The octopus perhaps has a bathing cap on, maybe not like to get their hair wet, or is turned on and all hands, with the Queen of Cups twins bridging with bliss, and the King of Cups walking away with nothing but unconditional love and feeling like a kid again. She happy working to align with the Tower of Bliss, with sudden wealth of lovers courting and one walking away, which could be a third actually. The fifth section here is the lion, the mouse, which I love, the lion and the mouse being next to each other, right? Because the mouse pulls the thorn out of the lion's paw, isn't that right? The lion, the mouse, the horse, which is Mr. Ed, God in the middle, and the worm and the dragon. So it's like a big, a little, God in the middle, and then another little and a big. The lion and the mouse loving each other, the worm and the dragon also, with Mr. Ed in the middle of all of you. The lion with partnering direction towards the sweet little guy. Unaware, the lady is expecting or expected at 28, or twin flame, choice of path. The mouse on the magic adventure with Mr. Bojangles, past the old and coming out on the wounded warrior's path, as Mr. Ed in high vibration is cutting to the chaste with third party message of infiltration that they are. And remember, we talked about that yesterday, that you all are the vehicle of infiltration just by being the human angel. You're able to channel that golden light through to everyone on Earth, and you can't get that energy to Earth unless you have a human to do it. The worm is coming up as the snake in the garden, getting into the apples with negative self-talk or lying and spying and spreading rumors about death, coffin, exposing cold case files, or broken seals or causes of death. Perhaps a child who's coming through from beyond to talk to someone, and the drag and higher self with wise counsel advising them to drop the act with a message of concern to patient angel of a higher love. Knowing and keeping their energy clear, going crazy, or perhaps a parent with dementia, or coming out about third-party rumors, and perhaps messed up or now breaking patterns. The lady in wait, or twin expecting the wounded warrior any moment in a message to break the seal of why communication ended in a message of concern about patience at 1251, which is the Hanging Man and the King of Swords. So now we go into the Union read and the Twin Flame read. And they're both pretty quick. Oh, I didn't even show you the pictures. So I don't know if I didn't show you already. This is the Metatron read that we did first. Then we did this read, which I just finished. Okay. And then here we have the Union read. And this is 40, 5D, 60. 40, 5D, 60, feminine on the left, masculine on the right, the bridge between them in the center, incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies and the closing energies here. Syrian starseed deck. And that was that read. And then here's the read in front of you for the full twin flame read. So the Union reads more about the physical union between the masculine and feminine, whereas this is about a general energy read for all of the twins, okay? So this is a 7-deck read. There's a lot of energy here. They're all general reads, so if something doesn't resonate, don't force it to fit. But please comment below if it does resonate with you, to perhaps expand the energy. Because if you comment, then that opens the energy up to someone else to resonate with you, and so on and so on. It's a domino effect. We all have a part of the puzzle or a piece of the puzzle. And if we don't give our pieces out, how can the others connect the pieces or connect the dots if they don't have the information that you hold, right? So everybody's important in putting their information out there. So the Union read here is, and Spirit's connecting with me, it's 626, which is the Lovers and the Page of Wands, the 40, 5D, 6D, with the underlying energy being the Chariot, the Strength in the middle, and the Page of Pentacles at the end. Boldly moving through the birthing process, or the Ring of Fire, to the other side, in order to manifest with your abilities. The incoming divine feminine is the 3 of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the 10 of Cups. Aggressively searching the ocean in the storm, which can reference to deep emotions, while searching the mountains in the snow to find the Holy Grail. The twin flyer at the top with the rainbow support. It's like the 10 of Cups support, right? The bottom row is the rainbow support with the 4. And then there's 5 cups in the middle, the Dark Night Purge, the Rainbow Bridge. And then the support is the cup on top, the Holy Grail on top, exuding the light, which is the combination of the masculine and feminine. You can also see that as the top 3 being the masculine and feminine, the third flame or cup on top. That works as well. The 4D here is the 5 of Swords, the transition, and the guidance. The divine feminine stretching and growing with aggressive invasion as the divine masculine with guidance, as well as the student. It's the energy of the divine masculine with guidance, as when the student is ready, the teacher comes. Bridging through the transition portal of the eclipses, and then ellipses were coming up here too, ellipses. The eclipses of the 19th, the 4th, and then the next, and then, or those two rather, the 19th and then the 4th, 12-4, 3-4, I believe it's coming up. And then when I looked up to see what the dates were of the eclipse to remind me, it brought me up to the eclipse from 6 months ago, which was June 10th, which happens to be my mom's birthday, and that came up yesterday. So 610 again came up because that was when the last solar eclipse was in Gemini, affecting all the mutable signs most significantly. And I'm Virgo, so I'm mutable. So mutable are Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, and Sagittarius, and we're in Sagittarius right now. So again, 11:18 to 19, I believe, was the last eclipse, and then 12:4, the total solar eclipse with the new moon, or death of a marriage after war waged on the divine feminine. Okay. So at 6:58, which is the Lovers and the Four of Swords, or the 5D connection between you, that could be someone on break or resting as well. In the 5D is the King of Swords, Strength in the middle, and then the Two of Swords. The Divine Feminine, Master of Thoughts and Words, or Divine Masculine's 4D War of going from the Frog to the Prince, becoming the King of Swords, Master in the 5D. Excuse me. The Divine Masculine is floating in their knowing, but numb, bridging through to the 12:12 gate. Saggy Tiger gets out of the drama there. Okay, and again, that's Centaur or Archer gate. The 6D here is the Knight of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and the Four of Wands. The Divine Feminine proposal after it's like after going from the orbs to the sword to the crystal light. So it's like the transformation. What had to go start with orbs, you know, perhaps little tastes here and there of the energy coming through, to the sword of light, the truth, to the crystal light, which no longer needs to show the truth, right? Because it's the crystal light, it's above that. And then the Divine Masculine with the castle and the union, with the drawbridge down and open for the Divine Feminine to come across, with red and white roses waiting at the entrance, and the bridging together in an innocent hug, locked in the circle of love, after back-to-back portals of transition and strength. So the outgoing Divine Masculine is the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. The Knight of Swords under the tree, sending 5D message to the Queen of Pentacles to think about. Perhaps his or her shadow will always be a part of the sea, or wondering where they are, or longing to adventure and to manifest something new. At 7:06, which is the Chariot and the Lovers, and the phone is ringing. The Divine Feminine, from the mists of Avalon to Pilate, and that was reminding me of Jesus Christ, Pilate, to the Greek or Greece. Okay, so going back to the past, from the mists of Avalon to Pilate to Greece or Greek. The Divine Masculine with guidance or marriage and knowing or floating, and stunned or numb about union made manifest. Bridging through the eclipses and ellipses and the Centaur gate to union. The Divine Feminine with Cancer on her side, the Page of Swords, King of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles as well. The Divine Masculine with Taurus on his side. Remember, Centaur has Taurus in it, like the Taurus, the toroidal field. And the Knight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles on the masculine side. Between the masculine and feminine here is Scorpio and Sagittarius, which can be the energies of that combined energy pushing forward right now. And the Capricorn embrace here. This can also be pushing into Capricorn right at Christmas, going from Scorpio, Sag to Capricorn in like the fourth quarter I'm getting now. The Three of Christ seeker of the human high vibe heart, and very adept at the Sage of Christ, or the clearing for Christ, and there's for the second coming, which we're in that period now, for thoughts and words, for those thoughts and words to come. The overall number for this read was 34, which is the Eight of Wands, the energetic exchange, the arrows of love, lots of flurry of activity or communication back and forth. And the horizontal pillars came up as the 10, the 2, and the 22 of the Wheel, the High Priestess, and the Fool. The verticals were 3 of the Empress, 0, 10 of the Wheel, 5 of the Hierophant, 2 6s of the Lovers, double zeros as well, and then the 4 of the Emperor. I'm getting, from the 6s and the zeros right here, or 6600, I'm getting the twin lovers and source being twin as well, like reflecting them. And the energies of destined high priestess and fool in energetic exchange or arrows of love, or Empress sourced high vibration changes with the Queen of Pentacles, or two lovers and the Empress with lots of space in between in to come together in this energetic exchange. So there had to be a lot of space between the Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor here for this energetic exchange to happen. It's very interesting. So now we have the read in front of you, which I'm going to turn the light on for that. Sorry about the blur there. All right, so this is the full read for the twin flames. We're going to roll the die here for the twins as well. Twin flames, November 27th, 2021. We have number 10, which is that high vibe energy. It's also the Wheel of Fortune and Libra energy for me. We also have Pluto, profound transformation. And we have Scorpio. So we left Scorpio already, but there may be still some residual Scorpio stuff going on. And we have Pluto coming up, which is Scorpio. So we have the 10 of Libra and high vibration and a turn for the better, hopefully with the Wheel of Fortune, along with Pluto and big transformation with Scorpionic energy. So really with Libra to Scorpio, and then we had a lot about Scorpio to Sag to Capricorn. So really they're highlighting all of these, but in the dice they're coming up as Libra to Scorpio energy. But really about big transformation and then the need to balance with Libra. So I cut the deck at 720, which is the 7 of the Chariot and 20 of the Judgment. And I completed at 740, which the 40 is the Page of Cups. The only major arcana in this read were Higher Self, which is the High Priestess, and Luna, which is the Moon. And before the read was the Star, the Indigo, which is the Magician, and Alchemy, which is the Temperance card. 3 cups, 3 swords, 2 wands, and 1 pentacle. So mostly cups and swords. So perhaps a little bit too much in your head because a lot of emotions are coming up, but that could be in a positive way. The Page of Cups, Page of Swords, and the Knight of Cups are the main players here. So a lot of young energy. They could be messages as well. And after the read, the 9 of Pentacles, or the Sovereign, and the King of Wands came up. We had double 1s, double 3s, double 8s, and double 10s. The double 8s and double 1s were most significant here. And again, that's matching like the double 0s to the double 6, that the double 8s are the twins dancing, paralleling Source, which is the 1 and 1, the 11 of Source in their masculine and feminine, the 11 of Justice, the 33 of the Christ vibration, the 88 of the twins dancing side by side in their masculine and feminine, and then the 1010, which is really high vibration and keeping that high. We also have the number 5 coming up of the Hierophant, which is also change, freedom, and expansion. And 13 of the Transition, the Death card, 38 of the Queen of Cups, 12 of the Hanging Man, 23 of the King of Wands, 35 of the Wounded Warrior, 9 of Wands, 56 of the Two of Swords, 68 of the Page of Pentacles, and then 8, 9, 10 begin again and again and again. Keep coming back to the center, keep coming back to your heart, to 0 point in the present moment. So the code line was all about financial discipline today, and the number 11 coming from 8 and 3. So here again is the alignment of 1 and 1, the 11. And financial discipline was broken up into Fina and Enshul and discipline or pline. And so here are the messages that came up from the code line today. The Sophia twin, or the feminine, seeing the 8 of the dance and that high vibe DNA, and seeing the key of the separation, the 3 of Swords. And also the clotting factor 4 was coming up as well, which can be the clotting factor of the Emperor. And also feline immunodeficiency virus was coming up, which can just represent any virus, but also can be somebody dealing with their pet having this. To reconcile without T, right? So it's saying like the energy of, instead of just reconciliation, like a pleasant reconciliation would be over tea, right? With pleasantries. But it's coming up to reconcile without tea or without a timeout, to see the strength of the high vibrational DNA, to see the key of the heartbreak and disappointment and separation in reflecting creation. Because you know, over time, creation took a long time to manifest, right? So I was getting as the financial discipline, the way it was broken up, was coming up around in the final run here, like the final leg of the race, in us as the woodpecker, which is so much Christ, right? He's the woodpecker. Christ is here, and I was getting Pinocchio, right? Because the wood little boy who needed to become the real live boy, and the sundial coming up here, the disc that you throw, or even disco is coming up here, and practice of the nobleman, the scientist, the statesman, or the writer or orator, a very high vibrational person here. The Sophia, the salt, and the one, seeing the 8 of the dance and that high DNA, seeking the E that matches the 3 of the rolling stone, which is the W and the M, of thoughts and words, the box or chest, the dowry perhaps, with the chakra system between reflecting and creating, that Christ is here as a nobleman, scientist, statesman, writer, orator, right? A very high caliber here. The underlying energy here is the Ace of Cups. All right, so we have the Ace of Cups here, and then the mini cards on top. I don't know if you can see it that well, but okay. And then I always go 5 down, not always, but usually. So the Ace of Cups is on top, and below it was the 6 of Wands reversed, the 2 of Cups reversed on top of that, and then the Star reversed, Indigo upright, and Alchemy reversed, and then the Ace of Cups on top, which is upright. So there's a lot of kid or message energies in here. Like I said, there's 2 pages and a knight as the main players here, as well as a sovereign after the read, and then the King of Wands. So there could be a failed relationship here, or attention seeking at a distance or under the radar breakup, and depressed indigo losing patience or temper of a fallen angel or as the fallen angel, with self-love, new love, and exuding love, or receiving a love offer. The King of Pentacles is reversed with his advisor perhaps, or with Hermit or Virgo shedding light on the King of Pentacles being reversed, which isn't in their positive vibe, right, because they're reversed, regarding a loss, regret, or sadness, or shame, and presenting the truth to heal and forgive, the Devil, the Shadow, or Capricorn, and temptation waving, with Aquarius reversed, as well as Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and Capricorn upright here, perhaps embarrassed, as standing before the Queen of Pentacles, as the Knight of Cups tells the truth, with a cup of love, handing them their crown in a golden cup, the Holy Grail, which is so funny because that's like what I was giving you today as the meditation. The old man putting on the brakes, they must go slow, and the Queen of Pentacles dipping her toe off the beaten path, but there's no water to dip her toe into, it's dry as a bone. If she receives the feeling of love, then there is truth. Or the Knight of Cups is threatening her with love or vengeance with love. The truth always follows. So it's saying like it's someone scared to be rejected, right? So they're kind of threatening her with love, like you just be careful because I might just love you, or or else if you don't accept my love, you're going to be in big trouble. With love, the truth always follows, not the other way around, right? Because with the truth, love doesn't always follow, especially if you're an ego, right? Or the Knight of Cups may be found a white horse, but they're very old and they can't go very fast or far. But he's here to hand her his crown with all of his feathers in his cap and his reeds that he's found as leaves and his herbs, if she'll forgive him and if she'll have him. The fallen angel presenting big love and truth, released from prison or just released, the Knight of Swords rushing in to end the nightmare once and for all, with the Page of Swords reversed, or perhaps they chicken out, or not sleeping and worried, the Page of Swords reversed, will be chased down by the law for something hidden underneath their bed perhaps, or in the quilt that was sewn at 8:45, which is the strength, the manifestation of dreams, and the 45 of the purging, which is the dark night of the soul. Or the Page of Swords reversed is just nervous to see them since they just got out of prison, which can be real prison or their own prison, at 8:45, again the dance of the purge cycle, which is the dark night of the soul, and then playfulness comes up, and beneath that, let your friends help. So after letting your friends help, there's playfulness here with the inner children. Without a leg to stand on, the Queen of Wands is reversed, no longer undressing or shopping and visiting, moving or unstable home, with the King of Swords upright, no longer sitting on the fence, no longer willing to be told what to do, with sweet tweets and scissors magnet coin, and the King of Swords done with it all, the cutting, the threatening to kill themselves, and if they don't get what they want, and the betrayal of the circle of trust. So someone's just tired of somebody else's games about manipulation, really. And that can be a child too, right? Because teenagers can be very dramatic that way. And also teenagers can want to kill themselves a lot more than people know, because they usually keep it to themselves. So spiritual partnership comes up here as very significant. 27 is that Ace of Wands, which it is today. And then teaching and learning was below that, 57, which is the Three of Swords, the heartbreak, the disappointment, the separation. So there's new information about a release of the King of Cups upright, who may be uncomfortable in the emotions with the Knight of Swords reversed, who may be between the King and Queen of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles reversed, missed opportunity, or perhaps a child or someone in need of help. Or the King of Cups is just uncomfortable around the Queen of Cups, with the Knight of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed, kids, or lots of material drapings or curtains or projects to make, and the Page of Pentacles needing help. Or the Queen of Cups and kids are looking for the King of Cups, who's hiding, perfectly happy by himself, or he may be playing a joke on them to sneak up on them. The Page of Pentacles reversed may be in need of help to offer love or receive love, and present the truth to the Page of Swords reversed in order to start over without being told in a spiritual partnership. Letting go to fix, repair, and or making amends. The underlying energy most underlying here is the Sovereign upright, ending conflict, or and that can be someone's sovereignty as well, or being single. Ending conflict in that state, or in a losing battle with the world upside down, and Pisces upside down, or the Divine Feminine, the 5D, and the cycle almost done with the Knight of Wands upright, wanting to come and rescue and save the day. An unstable home or visit or move with the Devil or Capricorn from a bad childhood or past, or falling out or difficult kids, and death perhaps in the family, or an ending in the family, with dark night or transition, and issues between Capricorn and Scorpio, or between the house and the family, money or business, and deception of the King of Swords upright and the Emperor reversed, with the Knight of Swords rushing in with the truth, or deliveries being ordered by Sovereign, as the Fool is free now from the King of Wands, Lover holding back an announcement or needing to swallow their pride. Or Aries is now single after telling the Emperor reversed and the King of Swords upright how it's going to be, while the King of Wands Lover or Gemini may have their tail between their legs. The recent past is the Knight of Cups, offering love to end the conflict, with the Fool now free to leap away from the Ten of Cups in a happy ending, or with kids on vacation, or Leo, Sunshine, kids and pets receiving an offer of passion from the Empress upright and the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be out in the cold together, or just let two go, or these two others left, and now they need more help because they may have been two workers who just quit at 9/11, which is emergency, right? The Hermit and Justice. Now also the Empress is upright and the Queen of Wands reversed, so she could be the one sending the Queen of Wands reversed on her way as well. So it could just be one person who's out in the cold. At 9/12 is the Hermit and then the Hanging Man, or hanging out. The Ten of Cups is upright here, perhaps the Happiness Hotel. And the Happiness Hotel comes up, it's the Muppet, it's like, the ultimate fun place to be. But it also could be a place that has a lot of pets where someone's not cleaning regularly, right? Where a lot of people are going in and out and it's not getting cleaned enough regularly. But the Ten of Cups upright, Happiness Hotel, with the Hermit upright, or someone who's emotionally fulfilled, offering big love to the Page of Wands reversed, unwilling to share, or offering it for debt, or to settle things out with the Knight of Cups. With Aries, Leo, Taurus, and Virgo all upright here, the Empress may be willing to help the Page of Wands reversed child, but not willing to help the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be their parent or maybe a much older sibling. Or the Hermit made it over the bridge to the Fool's journey, but the Empress upright and the Queen of Wands reversed were unable to get across. The Knight of Cups is offering to Libra, lover, or twin, or grandmother or empress may be willing to offer kids opportunities so that one of the parents can leave a relationship. The foundation here is the Page of Swords reversed, humbled by the whole truth and needing to choose a path, learning to pacify themselves without the Leo or pet, or trying to bribe their way out of this, right? This is, again, a child who may be getting away with a lot. Maybe one of the parents always fixes things for them, and they shouldn't be doing that. The Queen of Cups reversed is offering big love, with their back turned, though, perhaps to deal with the kids or a negative past. And the Queen of Cups reversed is always trying to pacify the kids when they should be doing it themselves. Leo and water here, so it can be any water signs. The central energy is the Page of Pentacles reversed, perhaps a rejection letter, or of love, or Cancer, or it could be a Cancer or Pisces child feeling vulnerable and shy, or perhaps spoiled and entitled and whining and crying to get their way. The Knight of Wands upright coming in to save the day, defenseless to energies or attack, on the Page of Cups reversed, and the Emperor reversed, who may both be vulnerable, right? So someone, even if the problem here is coming up, the Knight of Wands is always wanting to save the day, right? Because they look like the hero, but they're not helping these people because they're vulnerable, they're vulnerable because they never let them save themselves. This is the issue. But also, they could be defending them even when they're lying, and they shouldn't be defending them at all. Queen of Swords reversed, and the wounded warriors refusing to give up, entitled to their wounds. They're saying, no, I'm entitled to feel this way, blah, 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 blah. So perhaps the older sibling is defending the younger sibling, even when they're wrong, or defensive driver and an accident with pup and or kids, right? This could be new drivers as well. Or the Knight of Wands pushed the Page of Cups reversed out of the way, or the Knight of Wands in one car and a family in the other car, or the Chariot was coming up here. The challenge being the Three of Swords, heartbreak and separation or disappointment with the King of Cups reversed. Perhaps he's sleeping or on break or was laid to rest, or the awkwardness of the Empress upright and the Emperor reversed coming together, right, when it's an event having to do with the kids and the grandkids. So maybe they don't want to see each other because they broke up. The challenge being healing and forgiving, and the Page of Wands reversed withholding from the Page of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles family, who are both upright. There could be a death at 941, the Hermit and self-love, spiritual love, new love. There may be a death or an ending or dark night of the soul that fell on the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or just Scorpio meeting up with the Page of Wands reversed, who may be all over the place, or just drained. But they could be, truly uninspired or sick as well, too. Working to align with sudden events, epiphanies, or sexual exchange. Sagittarius upright, Aries reversed, and perhaps two Scorpios, and a sword kid here, or pets and messages. A lot of deception or up before dawn to work with new passion and big love at work, with the King of Wands very affectionate with a romantic tie. There's no surprise there with the Page of Pentacles upright working with the King of Pentacles reversed, who may be working on his own self-satisfaction and healing from a separation or heartbreak. So here could definitely be a father and their child working together or helping each other out. And then at 946, which is then the Six of Cups, the two children hugging each other, now is the Five of Swords upright, stretching and growing from frog to prince, as the Knight of Cups offers love to Libra, justice, or to divorce, lover, that is unhappy and broken and in need of help. At 949 then, right, getting your wish, at 9 of Cups is about being happy with yourself and getting your wish come true. Or Gemini and Libra could be at war here, or Libra and Taurus, and Libra with the Knight of Cups and the Hierophant reversed, with the King of Cups reversed, or father and child or siblings taking sides with the parents. Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Cups reversed may be waging war with each other, and the Knight of Cups may be trying to make peace. Lovers out in the cold, but with passion for each other, present to or at a gathering or party, group, or coming together with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, who may be losing patience or just being stubborn. That could be someone unable to function as well. With the Sovereign upright and the Queen of Pentacles upright and High Priestess, so that can be 1, 2, or 3 people, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles can be sovereign and she can be high priestess as well, or be the secret keeper, but also can be a mother and daughter with counsel or guidance here with the high priestess. That could be a nurse and aide, a very religious person, or a very spiritual person. So again, they could be with advisor or counsel here. This could be at school as well. Or mother with 2 kids, but one may be acting up, or fallen angel or Sag keeping them apart. The Queen of Pentacles in codependent relationship with high priestess with keys, or a friend who's actually her lover, and the high priestess who's defenseless to the energies, or perhaps has no excuse. Or Pisces gave them the keys, rendering them defenseless against them coming into their house whenever they want, only confessing after the fact and then losing hope or being arrogant about it. Soon here is the Eight of Wands reversed in a heated exchange, or not telling their true feelings, or invited and self-satisfied or arrogant in dropping everything or confessing only because they were caught in deception. The Magician is laying all the cards on the table for the King of Wands, who's knowing by the synchronicities they've been seeing, and being strong, taming the beast, trying to end the nightmare with the Queen of Cups reversed. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Eight of Pentacles upright, aligning after loss of delays or heated exchanges and walking away. And the Chariot is here in a bold move to try to close the cycle, or with the Divine Feminine in the 5D, or Cancer upright and Pisces reversed, on break, resting, or in the 5D connect, reaping the rewards, but needing to heal from defensive end, war, and or an attack. You deserve love, soulmate, and love yourself first. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the higher self upright. And that would be your twin. Starting over and pulling them back, or perhaps pulling in the element, or giving shelter to one who needs to hide. Pain, betrayal, and disconnect are at a distance, in not sharing perhaps about a scam or debt, or the inequity of an investigation, and dealing with liars, cheaters, and thieves at 10:07, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 7 of the Chariot. The block here being the Ace of Wands upright, moving in with a lover that's destined, with financial discipline, but even more so health here. The Hermit missing their flame, who could be the Queen of Cups or be missing their flame Queen of Cups reversed, with Cancer, so it could be a Cancer person or someone with Cancer in their chart, or deception under the radar at work, holding back an announcement, or not heeding the call, or not making calls that need to be made, or up really early sneaking out to go to work, or feeling a failure in need of attention at work, but needing to swallow their pride. Aquarius and Cancer both reversed here, as well as Capricorn. Virgo is upright, and then the King of Swords is upright, dropping the facade, in need of peace in the awakening to the deception of the sovereign, or about their sovereignty, in dumping a load, a burden, or responsibilities, or confessing to or with the King of Wands shaman, which can be doing that shaman work as well, at work, with the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, community, or heaven on earth, right? Which would be, if we got back to the way we were in treating each other like the originals did, right? So the natives and the aborigines at 10:12, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanging Man. So 10:30, 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, 30 of the Union, the home. And the movie that came up last night was Castle for Christmas, so that may be for some of you. The Indigo losing patience to offer or receive love or propose, but there's no reply or negative self-talk about it, and trying to align with your higher self. The Knight of Cups offering love to the Page of Cups reversed, rejected but challenged by separation and heartbreak, or no feelings exchanged, and big passionate offer to defensive end in deception with sovereign or sovereignty, or the single life, and dumping a load or all the responsibilities on the King of Wands at the workplace with the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and or heaven on earth. A proposal of love to the Knight of Cups, who may have missed an opportunity, or the Page of Pentacles reversed. And the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Cups reversed are challenged by disappointment and perhaps at war with each other, working creatively or aligning with a heated exchange or delays with the higher self, igniting new passion and getting up before dawn or up until all hours, as the sovereign is confessing to the King of Wands, coming together at work with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or the entire world, or he's doing shaman work along with work and family members or community, and the King of Swords is dropping the act in search of peace, having found a whole new perspective here at 1045, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the 45 of the Five of Cups, which is the letting go of the past, loss, grief, rejection, regret, right? Guilt and shame, all of that. So those are the reads, and let's pull a few oracle cards here. And where are we? It's 1:24:57 and 2:50 on the clock. We started out at 12:05 or 12:50. I forget what it was. Yeah, it was an hour. It was an hour and 20 ago. It was something 25, 1:25 it was when we started. It's 2:50 now. Which again is bringing up that 25 energy of the Knight of Wands. There's something also about the 125, because that's the 8th note, the 8th dance. And the 124 it was here, which is the Queen of Wands going into the Knight of Wands. It's 125. It was just 32 and 33. So again, the 25 on both. It's 0125 here and 2:50 on the clock. It just turned to 2:51. So the 8th dance. The crazy 8s coming together. All right, so, oh, that's weird. I was shuffling the card backward, but this is the card that came out. The golden egg. I guess I'm taking it from the other end. So I'm pulling these now from the underlying energy, what would normally be the underlying energy, but that's the way I shuffled, so that's what wanted to come out. And this is beautiful, because the golden egg is the heart. What wants to come up with the heart? The starfish. Nesting with a star. Oh, somebody got a gold star. This is a child who got a gold star. So they may be very excited. Maybe they're not a great student and all of a sudden they're doing really well. That's a really nice message. But that can also, this is also the golden child, right? So this could be an adult who's the golden child, or a child who's all of a sudden doing really well in school. And then we have the sacral chakra coming up here, right? That they need to close up shop here. Maybe someone was being sexually active in school, you know, and there were some things they were processing, and now they've cleaned up their act. They just need to close this up, right, to seal the deal here. But if it's an adult too, it's about, this can bring up the 3D sacral chakra, because it's not sealed. Because when it seals, then the rainbow energy comes into the world here. But again, this can be like that one-eyed snake energy, right, of being too sexually active, right? Somebody gets a lot of attention because they're the star. So it's about letting go of that kind of attention, right? Because that's not in your highest good. And then we have it's only left the camel, independent but yet sad, right? This could be someone who does really well on their own. They could be a great student, but they're feeling blue because they haven't been respecting themselves the way they should. And that can be for anyone, really, okay? And then we have someone who's really happy now because they found a whole new perspective, which is the way the read ends. So that could be referencing the masculine here. Okay, but the dolphin is this amazing energy. All the pink and yellow is like so much in compassionate energy, which is that very high vibrational love, loving themselves and speaking their truth. Look at that, beautiful. Black egg is all, it's the truth. The throat chakra, we have the heart chakra and the throat chakra. So someone's speaking from their heart. And then there's somebody standing by for cleanup duty. For when someone's just waiting for them to fall. This is someone waiting for them to fall so they can get back into the good graces and use them again. So watch out for this vulture, guys. We also have someone who's really curious about what's going on, who's very sweet and innocent and so excited about this. And again, this could be the father and child who are now doing something together, working together. Now they're really both cleaning up their act, but there's still someone who wants them to fail because it's to their advantage for them to fail, because then they get them to do things for them all the time again. So yeah, be careful about that. And there we have the phoenix, which is the root chakra. So the root to the heart to the throat. Remember I told you to speak out loud because sometimes a lot of stuff will come up that way. So focus on the chalice going down to your root and in your solar plexus holding your heart, and then allowing it to come out in words in order to purge it, and getting some really deep root clearing here by speaking out loud. That's what's coming up is important. And there's the old whale, really exhausted. So tired, they need a lifeline. You see the whales. It looks like it's just a whale, but it looks like they're on a raft needing a lifeline because they're struggling with these dark energies in the waters that are still in these, that really need to be cleared out. These deep, dark, this is deep ocean water. These are those wounds that are really, really deep. It's like that final clearing where we're getting right, that rev, that where you rev the crap off the engine. It's that same type of energy here. So yeah. So if we change it around and doing the opposite, then the underlying energy is the panther here. This is the trigger, right? Because they're at the attack. It's like the people banging at my door, like they wanted to knock my door down the other night and then running away. I have no idea what that was all about. I don't know if they were at the wrong house and they wanted to scare the crap out of their friend, or if they were literally looking to cause problems. I don't know. But anyway, that's the same energy of bullies and attack, which was the message yesterday all about the bullies. So this is the underlying energy going away because that's not what came up today. And then also could be the bear was right underneath that too. So there could be I don't know what the market's been doing, but it might have been a bear market, but that's going away too. Right? Because that was the bullying. There we go, the bullying in the bear market. So funny. I don't know, was there a bull run? I don't know. But there's something about the market because the bull and the bear came up. But again, that's going away. That was the underlying energy. And what we have now is going back to the heart. Someone who got a gold star who's turning things around, or perhaps someone who gets a lot of attention, they're dropping into their heart. They're closing up their sacral chakra, right? Closing up shop. And again, this was causing their blueness. You see the connection there. That was the cause of their sadness because they're a very independent person, right? So having a whole new perspective and perhaps hanging out with a child, but there's somebody else hanging out waiting for the crumbs, just waiting for them to fail so that they can get them back again and make them do what they want. But this is they're in their truth, so watch out for this vulture here. There's also someone very sweet and innocent here. These are like, perfect play partners here. This definitely could be a parent and child. But this vulture's trying to get in between them so that they can make them fall, because they want them to go back into their old ways. Okay, so see if you can identify who that is. And that could be this whale here. Because look, could be like a parent or grandparent who's really crotchety. See? It looks like the vulture. This is what's going on. Huge transformation with Pluto. And this is someone, because they've been trying to get in the way, that's why they're stuck in this dark energy. They can't get out of it. Usually the whale is a very positive energy, but in this case it may be showing you to confirm that information. All right, let's go into the journey of love. That's a whole new energy, guys. That's really nice. It's really light and sweet. Just watch out for that vulture. Again, it could be someone who's always there. The vulture has an issue with, they could be the one doing too much for the child, because if they know if they do everything for the child, they'll never leave them. It's that kind of energy. But if the child becomes independent, then they have no one to be codependent on. And then they have to start doing things for themselves, which they don't want to do. And whether this is a parent, a grandparent, or someone who's just around causing issues, they could be, they could be seemingly a harmless person, like a grandparent. It's like, oh, that's just the way they are. Or it could be someone who's, very harmful in a very manipulative way. So you got to watch out for that. Just use your discernment. All right, so from the journey of love, that came right up. Oh, I love it. It's the Paul and Linda card again. That's you guys. I mean, Paul and Linda have been coming up since the beginning of me doing these oracle cards. Right? They're walking right through the cyclone into the vortex, unaffected, holding hands. It's no problem. You got this. They're telling you that. Look, we did it. You got it. Dance with the Planets, 56 is the Two of Swords. And the Swans, that's the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant who keeps things really simple, right? At your service. The Two of Swords is being in your knowing and keeping the energy clear. So you can walk right through those storms with no problem to get right back to the vortex again. The loyal, humble servants, the Swan. The Swans. Remember my recollection. I can't talk. My recollection. They want me to say reconciliation, but that's not what I was saying because there's reconciliation here. But my recollect of the swans when I did my meditation in the harmonic egg was the life where they were just beautiful and happy, which is what they're trying to show you here. This is the swan life, right? Happily ever after, heaven on earth. And this is like the movie theater. I'm in heaven. It always reminds me of the Green Mile. Okay. Really beautiful energies. And she loves, here's the next card. Spirit's really connecting with me on this one. I don't know why. 70 and then 61 is that's the year I was born, but it's also the liar, cheater, thief card because in this deck, it's the Seven of Swords is passing downloads. But also you have to realize that that card is just about inherent risk and taking risk. It doesn't have to be a liar, cheater, thief. Although in 3D, often in taking risks, when we don't trust ourselves, we get into lying and cheating and stealing situations because of that. The bottom of the deck is the 46 of the Six of Cups, just for that moment joy, to open one's heart and be totally vulnerable to the light, allow it all to come in. And beneath that is the 66, which came up in the union read, the 66 and the 00, right? The inner children coming together, the Queen of Pentacles and the children, just for a moment joy. Right? When you're innocent and vulnerable and open like that, that light just can come streaming in. And the 66, this coming together is Beatles too, right? Come together right now over me. The purity of the swan and heaven on earth. Where she loves. Oh, something in the way she moves. Me like no other. I can't remember all the words. Something in the way she moves me. I don't want to leave her now. I don't want to leave her now. Do, 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 do. So, all right, they're making it like unmistakable that this is Linda coming through about their relationship and the connection to heaven on earth and the Beatles and the music. Right, coming together and she loves. And just for a moment to be joy. I was just getting, isn't there a, what is his song about his son? That's what I'm getting too. Is it Lovely Boy? What is it? Whatever that song is. Is that John? I'm thinking it's John. Oh, John and Yoko are telling me that it's not just about Paul and Linda. This is John and Yoko coming in as well. This is Yoko because she's naked. She looks naked anyway. They're funny sometimes, okay? Really beautiful, beautiful message there, though. I like that. So let's read what they want us to read. We got the heart chakra, the golden egg first, and then we'll read that. Okay, the golden egg is the message of the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern-day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga, nidra, or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. And when the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. So that's very much like the examples of meditation they were showing us how to do today. It doesn't have to be difficult, is what they're telling me. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. The golden egg and the four chakras, the subtle essence of the golden egg, is nestled deep within the heart center at the fourth chakra. This chakra, called the Anahata, is the home of the self or soul. By bringing the mind into this center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation waiting for us. And it translates as the unstruck sound. And then the journey of love was, the first card out was 56 of the dance. These are forces larger than your own personal destiny at work in your life now. Although they're not inharmonious to you, you may feel as though you're being blocked from, or on the other hand, rocketed towards the heavens on a roll that nothing can derail, which is the meditation we did today. Either way, the planets are dancing as they will, and there's an effect upon your destiny. It was meant to be at this time. From the rising, there will be gentle rest to recover before rising again, and from restraint, there will be propulsion into greater stratospheres. All things in time, according to the wisdom of greater cycles. It's okay to trust in the cosmic cycles and divine timing. After all, what point is there to rush to the bus stop if the bus doesn't depart till tomorrow? And what point is there to hold back if you're ready to set and go? Trust in the timing and rhythm of your life now, especially if it seems out of your control. That is the dance of the planets happening through you. This oracle brings a message. Pray that the planetary forces funnel blessings of grace and unconditional love, mercy and joy to you now, that their movements through life may happen in such a way that you can make the most of it. These are the times when big shifts are possible, supported by cosmic movements. So pray for grace and then enjoy the ride. In those days, time was ours. We walked in the rain and held each other's hands. Your lips warm against my skin and your soul melting into mine. As night became morning amongst the cobblestone walks of now forgotten places we called ours. And I'm really getting that from Linda to describe when she was with Paul. Aww. Okay, you guys, really beautiful, special message. Make sure you remember to drink plenty of water and get plenty of rest as best you can, and don't get on your case if you don't. Right? Get your joy in your nature, put your feet in the grass, and rise and be love.